Central Moncton is a great area to invest if you want to invest into students or into, like I said, young professionals that work at the hospital. But if you're more looking for a long-term rental family or duplexes where 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, whatever it is, I definitely would.
Hi there, my name is Lynn.
My name is Martin May. Together, we run New Brunswick property deals where we connect savvy investors, both local and from out of province, to off market properties with amazing cash flowing potential.
So, whether you are a first time homebuyer or an experienced investor, we can find you your next investment property here in New Brunswick.
So, we have Oliver McSloy today with us. He's our personal realtor in the Moncton area, and he's been helping us a lot with just locate some of the most sought after areas in Moncton and also give us the characteristics of each neighborhood. Because as we all know, in Moncton, from one street to another could really mean the whole world of difference.
Oh, yeah.
So we're very happy to be sitting here with you and just for you to give our investors an overview of Moncton as a real estate market and why they should consider investing here.
Well, I just want to say thanks for allowing to give me the opportunity to do this. As you know, I lived in Moncton for about 2 years now and working on my third year, and I absolutely love it. I'm originally from London, Ontario, so I know what the city life is. I know what the increase of prices of Ontario and across Canada and the major cities are. So ever since I moved out here, it's been a blessing and it's been a lot of fun.
So, why did you choose Moncton when you moved from London?
Um, Part of it came to affordability, and part of it came to a different lifestyle. Obviously, as you know, in the major cities, it's go 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 pace.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, over the years, I lived there for 28 years, so I got very used to it. But since coming out to Moncton the first time, I saw the scenery. It's the scenery, the people, the atmosphere that the city and the province really brings. The Atlantic Canada is very, very friendly. It's like really friendly people. Everyone extra apologizes in Canada. Like everyone in Canada apologizes, but everyone out in the Atlantic extra apologizes.
Love it.
Um, but it's not just that. It's like it also comes down to affordability and growth. So that's the main thing I saw. Like I really love seeing the growth of London. Was when I was 10 years old, the population of London was around 300,000. Now it's pushing close to 500,000. And I remember when I was a young child to where it is now, and it's just huge, huge growth. And ever since coming out of Moncton, I saw Moncton immediately, the potential that Moncton area had with the waters, with Northumberland Strait really close, Hopewell Rocks just an hour away, and being a central hub. I just saw the huge potential that this city in this province had for being a very affordable place for people to move to.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're here too. I mean, we saw the potential of the city and we decided to jump on it for sure.
Yeah, I feel like you definitely came at the right time too. Over the past 2 years, even like Moncton had just totally blown up. Can see that in the reflection of population growth and also real estate prices as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely very exciting to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Right.
why don't you tell us a little more about why should other investors invest in Moncton and consider investing in the province?
Even though they might be investing from out of province, even though they might have no intentions of really coming here, why do you think Moncton is a great place for them to invest in?
Yes, exactly. So the Moncton has so much to offer. It has 2 universities, 2 hospitals, many colleges, and many beaches within half an hour reach. Hopewell Rocks, one of the world wonders, is only a 45-minute drive away with numerous amount of different parks, trails. You can even mountain bike in really difficult trails in Alma, and it's really beautiful. There's all wooded and trails, all kept beautiful. But the main thing for me is the central hub of Atlantic Canada, not just New Brunswick. I'm saying Atlantic Canada. And to get from Moncton to PEI, it takes about one hour to get to PEI and 2 hours to get to Charlottetown. If you want to go from Moncton to Halifax, that's easy. It's a 2 hour drive. That's like going from London, Ontario to Toronto. Easy peasy. And beaches with Atlantic warm salt water, and cottage country just 20 or 30 minutes away. So we're not talking Pacific cold water, we're talking Atlantic salt warm water, which is beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Sounds pretty.
Moncton is also creating their 5th industrial park as more companies relocate to the Moncton area. Jesson Tools, as of this year and late last year, made it known that they moved their entire company from Ontario to Moncton, and they're really relocating all their employees as well because of affordability. Most of those employees were renting, I believe, and they saw why would they want their employees to rent when their employees could have a better quality of life and own. So that's one of the main reasons why they moved over. The cost of land and homes are affordable for everybody. If you want to buy a mini home, right? I'm not saying that where investors want to buy, but if you want to buy mini homes to a custom built home right beside a golf club, you can do that. There's so much diversity and so many options out here. Moncton is also the largest city in New Brunswick. Now, the Moncton population is considered of Moncton, Dieppe, and Riverview, and part of Salisbury. But that's the main core. And then the greater Moncton area kind of spreads out. But the main 3 are Riverview, Dieppe, and Moncton. Moncton also consists of 2 universities, one English speaking and one French speaking. Since Moncton is close to Dieppe, which is a French community, it's very bilingual in French and English. So there's nice diversity in English and French. We also have 2 hospitals, one English, the Moncton Hospital, and then the French hospital as well. So once again, the diversity there is really nice, and just the structure of the city for bilingualness is it's a nice thing to see, that's for sure. There are also many colleges. There are MBCC and Alton College that are right in the core of Moncton, and I can show you on the map later. So what are properties worth in Moncton, and what can you buy in Moncton? So single detached homes as of this year, 2021, the average is $236 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And it is increasing. Last month it was a little bit lower, last month it was a little bit lower, and every month it keeps increasing. Semi-detached homes are going on average to $215. Now, a year and a half ago, maybe let's say 2 years ago, you buy a brand new semi-detached home and you spend, let's say 3 years ago, you buy a brand new semi-detached home, you spend $170,000 on it. And 3 years later to now, you spend about 200, or you can sell it for 215,000. And that's a great turnover for people who bought semi-detached homes as their starter home, right? New investors, new home owners, everything like that. Condos are averaging about 220,000. And now we're going into the investments, the multi-unit properties. So duplexes are increasing, they continue to increase. Duplexes are around 290,000, triplexes 330,000, and fourplexes 372,000. Now the scale does go down and up depending on how renovated it is and how much the previous owners have kept the property up. As you know, in major cities, not every property manager or property owner is perfect. So there's always a learning curve with that.
I was just saying it's a little crazy when you compare those prices to the price there is in Montreal or Toronto. It's literally 2 or 3 times cheaper here than it is in those big cities, which is kind of insane, especially for investors who are starting in investing in properties and they live in Toronto or Montreal. It's really hard for them to find anything in those cities, but when they come here, they have more options. They can actually get either a condo or a single detached when they start low, and a fourplex is $272. Like that's pretty insane. There's nothing at that price. You can't even get a single family at that price in Montreal. So it's a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
for sure.
And when you think about the investment side, like let's say even if you want to relocate, let's say you're adventurous and you want to relocate from Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, London, you want to relocate to the Atlantic Canada, and you have a home that you can sell, you can literally sell that home, buy a beautiful home out here for 350,000. And when I say beautiful, I mean like 3,000 square feet, like right near the golf course, you could have a home. And then on top, you could buy investment income property as well, just to kind of supplement your income. So
what does Moncton look like? And when people are talking about investing in Moncton, what does the city look like? What are the tenant profiles in each neighborhoods? Could you give us a rundown on that?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll give you like the map view. I'll let you venture, you investors and venture looking up uh, Hopewell Rock, Shediac Beach. Look up Parley Beach if you're going to look up that, and just kind of look at different images of Moncton just to get more of like visual images. There's lots of great pictures up there. But for the map view of Moncton, this is, if you can see my cursor, this is the Moncton area. And this is where all the action happens. This is the central hub. Now I'm going to zoom out so you can kind of see where it sits on the map compared to Atlantic Canada. So Moncton's right here. PEI is an hour, like I mentioned before, that direction. St. John, that's about a 2-hour drive right there. To Halifax. Where's Halifax?
Right here.
To Halifax is another 2-hour drive. So most of Moncton's, most of New Brunswick's cities, popular cities are in the southern part of New Brunswick, obviously, rather than the top. But since Moncton's on the far right, it gives us the unique opportunity of being close to PEI and Nova Scotia. Now, if we go back down here, so geographically, so this is Moncton right here, this area. If you ever been to a city where a city is right beside another city and the border is literally a street, and if you can step from one side to the other side, you're in one city to the other city. That's kind of how Moncton works, and kind of Riverview works as well. But Riverview is separated by the Kodiak River that flows up and down every 6 hours. So it will empty all the water out and fill all the water back up. It's connected to the Bay of Fundy.
That's crazy.
So Moncton and Dieppe is over here, and that's the French community. And Riverview is kind of more of the hilltop community. It's more of an incline, so it's a harder rock. Just I won't go into full details about that, but just the quality of the ground is more harder rocks. And that you have to go through Riverview to get to Hopewell Rocks. So this whole pathway down here through Hillsborough, Stony Creek, all the way down to Hopewell Rocks, it's such a beautiful drive. Also, there's Alma as well along this route, which I mentioned. There's lots of trails there, lots of trees. I'll definitely say that when you invest out here and you come out here for a first time visit, the first thing that you notice is all the trees everywhere.
Okay, there's way more nature around.
So I'm going to start off with Moncton downtown. This is where the core of Moncton is. Now they're trying to revamp the downtown. They're trying to bring more attraction to the downtown area. So this whole strip here is Main Street, and this is the Avenir Center. So like any major city, you have a sports center, and the Avenir Center was built in 2018 to bring back the attraction to the downtown. So it's a house of the Moncton Wildcats hockey team, which if you're a hockey fan, you might know of that team. So
Main Street is also where you can find like most of the bars and restaurants too. It's just really
yes. So yeah. So most of like the popular bars and restaurants are down on the main street. My favorite is the Old Triangle. It's right next to the Titan Board. Right there it is. The Old Triangle Irish Ale House. Really, it's like a pub, but it's really, really, really good. When it comes down to food, it's like fine dining kind of feel to it. So
yeah, we went there when we were visiting, and they have sometimes live performances. They have some pretty good music. Yep. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Titan Board also has live music as well on summer nights. Now, during the COVID times, it's a lot different now, but yeah. Hopefully when all this passes by, the activities will start coming on. Oh, yeah. And on Main Street, they also have, some of the restaurants extend their patios so that you can sit on the main street. And just the core of downtown, it has so much potential. And I'm really happy that they're trying to bring back the potential of the downtown. Just recently in the last few years, over here where the Garnon House Hub City is a brand new condo high rise that they built. So it's one of many new condo high rises that they're building in the downtown to attract people to live down there again. So right there, if you're a business owner and you decide to move out here, there's space for conventions, there's space for staff meetings, everything like that. On the main level, they have a nice coffee lounge. It's like really cute, but really quiet, super quiet. Nice chairs, nice atmosphere. You can sit there with your colleagues. I typically go there with my other real estate colleagues and just kind of have coffee and just kind of chit chat. Really friendly. So, in the sense of investing, the downtown area consists of the two hospitals. You got the Moncton Hospital, and then you got the French Hospital. So they call this area, as you can see here, Central Moncton. Now, on this map here, basically this whole ridge here is a good core for anyone who is going to MBCC. And MBCC is located right here. And any young professionals that are working at the hospitals. Just across the Wheeler Boulevard, which is this road right here, is the French University. So it's very central here for students, young professionals that work downtown or at any of the places on the main street, and anyone going to MBCC. So there's a lot of diversity there in the sense of rental income for students, but not just students. There's lots of families. So the nice diversity in Moncton is that you can live on the outside Moncton and be a family, or you can live in central Moncton and be a family. There's lots of schools. I didn't list all the schools because there's lots of public schools in the central area, and but there's just a lot of potential there. So that this is more driven for students, young professionals, and mainly people who work on Main Street. Because of the central location, you can either walk there. It only takes about 10 minutes to walk from this location to downtown, like 10, 15 minutes. If you have a car, it takes like 2 minutes at tops. So a very easy commute for people that want to lower their cost of monthly cost expenses. This is where Moncton is growing. When I drive in those areas, there's a lot of lots that are owned by developers and a lot of vacant land available for production, no development, I should say. And it's Irishtown Park. This is the new hotspot of where Moncton people want to buy properties and expand towards. Up here in Tankville is the Moncton High School. I can't remember exactly when it was built, but it's a brand new high school, massive. It holds a lot of students, and it's right next to the Moncton Golf Course. And if we zoom in here, you got the Royal Oaks Golf Course. Now, as you know, in any major cities or anywhere in Canada or anywhere in the world, when you have a golf course, anywhere around the golf course is where people want to live. Those are the prime real estate, because we're better to have a backyard neighbor than someone saying fourth, right? So, so the Moncton area consists of the central and then northern. This is also the other area that Moncton is expanding. This is the outdoor shopping mall, I call it, and it become a popularity out here. And the whole where you see the Walmart Supercenter is called the Trinity Plaza, and all in the Trinity Plaza is all your outdoor shopping center. Walmart, Home Depot, gosh, there's so many out there. It's just imagine an outdoor shopping mall, all in that one central area. Sport Chek, Marshalls, Winners, everything like that. So this whole subdivision over here is typically where families want. You're typically family neighborhoods. So you got single detached homes. You might see a few duplexes, but you might see more commonly a single detached home that has a what do you call it? In-law suite attached to the basement, which is a great income property as well. So in these neighborhoods, there's a lot of nice homes in the sense, but a nice mix of homes. So like, once again, it's not just segregated to rich neighborhoods to low income neighborhoods. It's just a nice mix of homes where you go down one street, it'll be a little bit bigger. You go down another street, it'll be a lot of bungalows or two-story homes, a nice mix like that. Now, in regards to investing in the Moncton area, Central Moncton is a great area to invest if you want to invest into students or into, like I said, young professionals that work at the hospital. But if you're more looking for a long-term rental family, or duplexes where 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, whatever it is, I definitely would focus more on the outside Not saying that there is anything here, like I mentioned before, in this area, there's a lot of families that live here as well. So, and then also in the central part, there's a huge mix of in Moncton, but just for to separate it, Central Moncton is for students and young professionals and families, but as you go further out, it's more family orientated. Now the average rent as of right now for the Moncton area is like, and this is recent, is for a studio is $750, and that's a 7% increase from last year, which is around $50 increase. A 1-bedroom is going for about $900. Now these are, when I go through the list of this, sometimes it depends on the landlord if utilities are included or not included, and that will change in the price of the rental. So 1 bedroom is $900, which is a 1% increase, which comes out to $11 from last year. 2 bedrooms are going for $1,083, which is a 2% increase from last year, which comes out to $24 increase. And 3 bedrooms currently right now are going for $1,350, which is an 8% increase. So the want for 3-bedroom apartment is increasing, which is a great thing, because that means that there's lots of families or lots of people who want more than just 2 bedrooms, or there's a lot of young couples that want 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms or have a child and they need a 3rd bedroom as well.
Yeah, that's great. Perfect. So can you tell us a little more about Dieppe and Riverview, just to know what's specific to those 2 areas?
Yeah, so Dieppe is actually where I live. I really like it because it's more quiet than the central London, so that's why I chose there. But Dieppe is the French community. So when you go to Dieppe downtown, which is located right about here, Dieppe Strip right here, there's a lot of French companies or companies that name starts in French and then it ends in English. So typically when you go to Dieppe, people will talk to you in French first, and then they'll speak to you in English once you say, hey, and then they'll say, oh, okay, and then they switch it up. So Dieppe is the main core of Dieppe, where has a lot investor and rental income. It's right here right in this area right here, because what's located right here is the Champlain Mall, which is New Brunswick's largest shopping mall, and you can laugh at it, but it's a beautiful mall, really well kept. It has a lot of really good shopping stores and options there. So this whole section right here is where you're mainly going to want to invest into when you're looking to invest to rent out, because it's very central, walking distance to Moncton, walking distance to the shopping mall, and if Paul Street and Main Street here, or Dieppe Boulevard right here, is the central hub. There's so much traffic going through there, so it's just a good central area for you to invest in for Dieppe. As you move east through Dieppe, this is all considered Dieppe here. You'll notice my marker right here, which is the Fox Creek Golf Course or Golf Club, and this is where all the custom homes and the high-end luxury homes are built. Now, the beautiful thing about Dieppe is that it's growing very fast. Downtown is actually slowly getting built up by houses, like 1.5-story homes are starting to get bought by companies, destroyed, and then put in apartment buildings or bigger businesses. So they're starting to expand the Dieppe downtown. So that's a great thing. So in Dieppe over here, all along Dieppe Boulevard, there are so many outlets on streets that are empty. They're already paved. There's already roundabouts made, and they're already pre-planning the expansion of Dieppe. It's still wooded, right? It's just a little driveway that goes into a bunch of woods, and that's it. But as you go closer to Charterville Road, you'll see where all the new development is. So this whole Charterville area is great for rental as well. Consists of a lot of family homes, single detached homes, semi-detached homes, and then there's also duplexes as well. And there's a lot of owners in this area that own the whole duplex, like side by side or semi-detached, considered a duplex if you sell together. So there's a lots of rental potential in this area as well. Rent is consistent from Dieppe to Moncton to Riverview, just because it's so close to each other. It is consistent. Now there will be different neighborhoods, and I'm not going to say what neighborhoods, but there'll be different neighborhoods that are cheaper, just because of the location. But it's like that in any major city. It's like that anywhere in the world. You go from two blocks one way, it'll be cheaper than 2 blocks to the right, and that just depends on what's in that area. But I'm not going to highlight that because I think every area in the Moncton area and Dieppe and Riverview is a great area. It has lots of potential. So Dieppe kind of runs down the Kodiak River to about here, and then it expands into Memramcook, which is very out in the woods. There's lots of potential if you're looking to buy land, like a lot of acres of land anywhere outside the city. There's so much space for that. So Dieppe is, like I said, it's a French community, and it is smaller than Moncton, but the main core is all right here. And basically the whole city of Dieppe has rental potential income. You could go as close to the downtown core. You could go further away to the family neighborhood. It's a short distance, and that's the beautiful thing about investing out here. You're not segregated to, oh, I can't go this far out because I can't go 45 minutes out of the core of Toronto, which might only be 10 kilometers, right? So like you can literally choose anywhere in the city, because typically people are here, they have vehicles, renters own vehicles to commute from. It's not there's buses and everything like that, but it's more common for everyone to have a vehicle out here to get around, because it makes it a lot simpler and a lot easier to do so.
Yeah. So people who live in Dieppe, are they purely Francophone, or are they more or less perfectly bilingual, would you say? Just for our viewers, who are not comfortable with French as a language.
Oh, yeah. So like everyone in Dieppe speaks English, right? You might meet the occasional person that is very French and they're from Quebec. But everyone in Dieppe speaks like perfect English, perfect French. I don't speak French myself, and I live in Dieppe, and it's very easy to talk to people. When I first started going to shops, or started talking to people, I had that concern of like, oh, I wonder if they don't know English, or when you go to a shop and they start speaking French, I was like, oh, it's like I don't know what they say. But very easily, I'm just like, oh, like English, and they're like, okay, sure, and then they read off on English. There's no worries if you don't know how to speak French. Typically, even for renting side, there's a lot of people that will speak French and English, right? Because it's bilingual, and Moncton is also bilingual as well. But you have no issues in that sense for communication. If you're looking for renters, it's not just going to be French, right? If you do know French, and they know French, that just makes your connection even better.
Perfect. Awesome.
So Riverview.
Yeah.
So Riverview, yes. So Riverview is the smallest of the three, but it's very pretty. It's Riverview downtown is Riverview downtown starts about here and goes all the way down Coverdale Road until you keep going outside the city. So Riverview, all the businesses and the restaurants, which Riverview has some really nice restaurants. It also has a chocolate making place right on the Kodiak River, which is pretty cool. But everything's on the main strip. So you got the Homestead breakfast place, you got Near East. Every place needs a Dairy Queen. But it's just a really well kept city. It's really clean, very, very pretty. And the expansion of Riverview goes south. So your rental, when you're looking for rental families, once again, it really comes down to who you're renting to or what your target is. If you're looking for more of a family long-term renting, you want to go further away from downtown, more into like West Riverview, into the Pinewood Road area, where it's all like family detached homes, different sizes, everything like that. But the main portion of rentals or renters is in the core once again. So anywhere from the main street into River Heights to Huron Street, Barclay Drive. It's all great potential for income properties as well. Now, I'm glad that we're in Riverview now, because there's only 2 entrances to Riverview currently right now. So there's Von Harvey, which is the main bridge to Riverview that a lot of people use. Then there is the Causeway. So now the Causeway right now, just to kind of give you a little bit of history, they built the Causeway back in the 1900s, and the Causeway held back a lot of the water, the Kodiak River, from this area over here. Now that's an environmental disaster, and they realize that now. So what they've been doing over the past couple of years is constructing a new bridge right beside the Causeway so that they can destroy the Causeway. This year, they are blocking off this route here will be blocked off for the remainder of the year as they are prepping to get the bridge completed. So as of right now, or upcoming very soon in the spring, the main route, it's going to be the main street, which it will get congested, but it's for the greater good, which I'm really excited for the new bridge to come, because when they destroy the Causeway, the water will be able to flow all the way through, and it'll just make it more enjoyable and easier traffic flow, because the Causeway is only 1 lane both ways. So hopefully they'll change it to 3 or 2 both ways, because there's lots of travel from Moncton to Riverview. Lots of people in Riverview work in Moncton. So if you're thinking about renting to people that are renters, right? There's a lot of young professionals that live in Riverview. It all comes down to taste. You'll hear some people say, "Oh, I love Moncton." You hear some people say, a lot of people say, "I love Riverview." You'll hear some people say, "I love Dia." It really comes down to their personal preference, and people who live there a long time that say, "Okay, I'm sick and tired of Moncton. I want to live in Riverview because it's a little bit more quiet." You're on the other side of the river. You're away from all the chaos of the city of Moncton. So lots of potential. So I'm going to kind of move on towards Shediac here. Now I know Shediac is about half an hour away, and it's still I still consider it the Moncton area because it's only 20 minutes away, right? 30 minutes away to a beach, like beach coastline. Like I can't complain about that. Where I'm originally from, London, Ontario, to get to Stauble Beach, which is like nice beaches, it's about 3-hour drive. So if anyone in Toronto knows where Stauble Beach, it's roughly about a 2-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive as well. So Shediac is a little bit more expensive than the Moncton Dia Riverview, and that's because of the location. What better than having a beachfront cottage or a beachfront house, right? They can't complain about that. So Shediac, basically the whole Shediac area that I recommend for investing would be in Airbnb. So cottages for the summertime, and then potentially renting out to winter folks who will only rent during the winter time, which is a great supplement to the income during that time as well. But it's not just limited to that either. Shediac is a town, and it is has a population that has work, and there's a lot of people that live in Shediac that commute from there to Moncton as well. Because of the 20-minute drive, that's nothing, right? If any of you investors from Montreal, Toronto, you know that a 20-minute commute to work would be a blessing, right? So but yeah, Airbnb, and I looked up some prices for the average Airbnb prices, and this is the same for Moncton. So keep in mind that if you're looking for Airbnb or cottages for Shediac, that's perfect. But you can also do it for Moncton. Once again, I go back to the whole central hub. What better than someone want to travel from the States or from anywhere from west side of Canada, wants to travel to Atlantic Canada, and they want to go Hope Belfast, they want to go to Halifax, they want to go to St. John, and they want to go PEI, and they want to go to the beaches. Where can they go? Moncton. So if you're thinking about buying a property for Airbnb, Moncton is the whole area of Moncton is all perfect for Airbnb. Once again, thanks to the centralness of Moncton, it definitely helps with that. So the average Airbnb goes for about, and it varies. Obviously, on the luxury side, you'll get anywhere from $300 to $450 a night for an Airbnb. But the average right now is $100 to $250 a night, and that's for like a 3-bedroom, 2 to 3 bedroom like flat bungalow style cottage home with a little bit of land, campfire, like everything like that. It's really beautiful on the water, not on the water. There's lots of options like that. Me and my family, just to kind of give you an idea, me and my family rented a cottage in Kokan, and it was right on the water, right on the water. Right, I think it's more up here, but it's right on the water here. It's beautiful. It's like a 30-second walk, and then you just look at the Northumberland Strait, and it's just super quiet, super in the country, like great scenery, really awesome people as well. So yeah, so the average is about $100 to $250 a night. So that would come out to in the summertime if you're to rent it out weekly, because typically when people rent out cottages, they'll do it on a weekly basis or 2-week basis, depends on what they're doing. So you could earn anywhere from $700 on the low to $1,750 or more. It depends on the quality of the building, the features that you have, how many bedrooms you have, everything like that. So Shediac has a lot of potential. Now the Shediac Main Street is where all the action is, and all the action, I mean, like you got fish and chips, you got seafood, you got restaurants, you got ice cream, and you got more. It's mainly restaurants. It's a touristy place. So the population of Shediac, I don't know the percentage off the top of my mind, or the top of my head right now, but the population increases by, like, let's say anywhere from 70 to 80% in the summertime. Like it skyrockets up. So just to kind of give you an idea of like how much it increases when the springtime comes is by a lot.
So for Shediac as well, is there a local demand for Airbnb units in Shediac? Like are local people going to Shediac to vacation, or are we only relying on, out of province travelers? Like how would you, break down who's gonna come to Shediac?
Yeah, so people who come to Shediac could be anywhere from like by St. John, right? Anywhere that's in the province or anywhere in Atlantic Canada would go to Shediac for cottages, just like anywhere in Atlantic Canada likes to go to PEI for cottages. There's lots of people who own cottages or summer homes in Charlottetown or PEI because it's a little getaway just across the road. But the main thing would be is a mix, right? So like when my family comes out here, right, they go to Shediac. They want to rent in Shediac because it's beautiful, right? So there's a mix of people who own properties in Shediac and people who own properties there and want to rent there themselves that live a little bit further away from Shediac. So I know people that in the city of Moncton that own investment properties in Shediac that they rent out, so it's really close, and they also want to go there for the summertime. Sometimes they will go more north because they lived here their whole entire life, so they want to kind of get away from Shediac. So they kind of go up north, or they kind of go over to Capillet. Capillet has a beautiful beach. So did that answer your question?
Yeah, very interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when it comes to urban potential, you said that Shediac would be a great place. Also, anywhere in Moncton, since it's really central to the province, it's an hour or 2 hour drive from everything. Any other places that would be great for Airbnb?
Yeah, so Airbnbs, let's see. So I already said Moncton and Shediac. Now, if you really want to, it depends. For Airbnb, it really depends. You could go towards Salisbury for sure. It's Salisbury, which is over here, and that's about like 15 minutes outside of Moncton, right? And you can start going towards St. John area in Sussex. But I'm unfamiliar with like the popularity of Airbnb there. I say Moncton and Dieppe is a great spot because you have the airport as well, which is located right here. So this is the main airport that everyone uses to come in to New Brunswick typically, or Moncton. They use this airport and they come here. So the Airbnbs are people who are coming for business, people who are coming for family, anything like that. They can rent out a Airbnb right close to the airport or in the city of Moncton. Now, if you want to go closer, the popularity, I'm not quite sure how popular it is, but anywhere down the Kodiak River going towards Hopewell Rocks would be a good place as well, because more of the country, so it could give you a different feeling of an Airbnb where it's more in the woods rather than closer to the city. So there's a nice mix like that. But it's also close to Hopewell Rocks, which is a great place for people to hike and do trails and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
Now, Shadiac is consists here, but if you keep going north, you can go to Bouctouche and Rexon, but Bouctouche is kind of where I stop for when I look at colleges, because then you start getting a little bit more further north, and it becomes further distance to drive if you needed something, right? If you want to go to the grocery store, or you wanted something, or go to a restaurant. Yes, there are restaurants in Bouctouche and Rexon, but you might be looking for a certain style, then you have to go further distance, right? Then you kind of start going further away from the PEI area. But anywhere from Shediac to the bridge to get to PEI is a perfect place for Airbnb, because it all depends on who's coming to rent it. They might be wanting to go PEI, or they might be wanting to go Moncton, so they want to smack right in the middle here in the country, right on the waterfront.
That's perfect. Yeah, man. So why don't we talk about just a little bit what you can offer, especially for our investors who are coming from out of province. Like for us, we obviously had a really pleasant experience with you.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking to you. We were actually based in Montreal. Now that we moved to New Brunswick, so it's way easier for us to connect. But when we were in Montreal, we really think you did an amazing job. Just helping us do these virtual tours, and also telling us all about Moncton for someone that literally knew nothing about Moncton.
About it, yeah.
So we believe you provided a lot of value. So why don't you share a little bit about just exactly how you could help these investors invest in Moncton?
Yeah. So when it comes to investing anywhere, you want someone to have the knowledge on the other side, right? I mean, if you live in the city of Moncton and you want to invest, I certainly hope that the other person that has the knowledge of the city or more knowledge than myself. And that's what I do offer. In the time that I've been here, I've spent a long time researching and calculating areas and seeing where the growth is. And that really comes down to growth. Where the growth of the city is where your profit is going to come from your property, where your investments are going to increase just on the property itself, not regardless of the rent. But what I can offer to you, since you're out of province, if you are out of province investors, is I do videos, right? I'm very prompt. So I have an Ontario schedule. So I'm very go. So like I'm very fast paced, very quick, very attention to details, and available almost any hours of the day. If you try to get me at 12 o'clock at night, I might be up and I'll probably answer your calls. So, but I do video calls. I can do video walkthroughs. I'll drive to a location if you want me to do that as well. I will go. I have a list of contractors and inspectors that I have good relationships with that will be able to go get you into those properties to do the best inspection, just to make sure that it's right. Along with that, you're getting my professional attention, right? Anywhere from, like I said, anywhere from videos to Zoom calls if you want to do face-to-face to kind of talk about your investment plans. If you want to venture a little bit outside of Moncton to an area that I might not know from like 100%, I'm willing to drive that distance. I'm willing to drive 40 minutes. I'm willing to drive an hour away from Moncton to go see a potential property that you want to get as well.
Even us working with you, honestly, we absolutely adored our experience. Anytime we would text you and ask you for any information, you would respond right away and definitely send the information in an hour. So that's honestly something that we absolutely loved. And we worked with other real estate agents, and none of them had that much dedication in the work than you. So that's why we're here today.
And that's also why, if you go onto our website, NewBrunswickPropertyDeals.ca, you can see Oliver McSloy, like we're recommending you as obviously our top realtor of choice for the area of Moncton. So yeah, I definitely highly recommend Oliver for any investors who are looking in this region. So just to finish this podcast or video off, we just want to ask you, just 3 questions that we're planning to ask every single guest that come on to this podcast. So the first question being, what's your favorite thing about Moncton? What's
my favorite thing?
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Moncton is honestly the scenery and the people. I know that's 2, but the scenery is, I can never forget about the scenery, but it's the people. The people in Moncton are just so friendly, so positive. As I mentioned earlier in the video, they say extra stories, and just the community. Moncton is a community, right? Just like any city is a community, but Moncton, I really feel the sense of community, and it's the people there, that business owners, the students, the young kids, the older people. They're just all very loving people all across the board.
Yeah, that's really cool. And we definitely heard that quite a bit too from a lot of people that we talked to. Yeah, Moncton people are beautiful. And how, if you had to describe Moncton in 3 words only, what would those 3 words be?
Well, one of them is beautiful. Other one's friendly, and the third word would be easy. Now, when I say easy, I just see, and it comes from an investment standpoint, I see the culture, the growth of Moncton, and I just say easy. This is an easy place to invest with my money, for investors to invest in their money, because of affordability, everything what we talked in the video makes that investment easy. It makes it way stress-free. Like, obviously there'll be stress, but it makes it way less stressful, and makes it quite affordable for your portfolios or additional incomes. So that's what I see in Moncton: beautiful, friendly, and easy.
Cool. And the very last question that we have for you will be, what's your favorite local business in Moncton? So that could be a restaurant or a bar, or anything that
any place you like.
You know, my favorite place, as you might caught when I was showing you the map, then is the Old Triangle. My last name's McSloy, so I am Irish. So the Old Triangle is like that nice pub, but really, really good food. I had I think it was like a crab dip there, and it was best crab dip I have ever had in my life. So the service is really nice, right downtown. You look across the street and you can see the Tide and Gore, like all the glass, and people in there drinking, and like a live band playing in the background. So I definitely say that's my favorite restaurant.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, no, Oliver, thank you so much for your time. If our audience wants to get in touch with you, again, I have your contact information on newbrunswickpropertydeals.ca, but could you just share, where our audience can find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook as well, and LinkedIn. Martin can give you my LinkedIn address as well. But on Facebook, I have a business page. But the easiest way to contact me is by email or phone. But also, if you want to see any additional details about Moncton area, or invest in buying, selling, or anything like that, check out my website. I am also doing a community connection corner where I connect with local business owners and get to know their story about their business and kind of how they grow and what connects them to Moncton. Because I think the connection between the people and the businesses is huge. So, but you can also find out more information there about me and about the city of Moncton.
Awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much, Oliver, for everything you shared with us today. And obviously, we keep working together, so we'll see you very soon.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, guys.
Perfect. I'll talk to you soon, Oliver.
Yep.